we are all in this together in this environment. You could say that this is everyone's point of attraction. We've been giving to you here today the best explanation of what we would do if we were in your physical shoes. You're in the midst of some momentum because you've been around and you've been thinking, and the law of attraction has been responding to you and is responding to you. And so there is momentum that is happening. It is your response to what is happening that is the predominant reason that you offer the vibrations that you do. If we were standing in your physical shoes, we would say to ourselves, I want to calibrate to what's becoming, not to what is. Because what is the enemy of future expansion. What is, your memories of things or your observations of things, are what hold you in slow motion or no motion. So we would begin to approach life more from the standpoint of what can I do to calibrate to my vortex, and what can I do to not calibrate so much to what's going on around me. Now, it isn't that we don't think that there are nice things for you to observe. There are. We just want you to be more productive, selective sifters. Spend time in conversations about the things that you do want. You get what you think about, you get what you speak about. It's attraction, attraction, attraction. But we also understand that sometimes you just can't help yourself, because there it is, so vivid. How can you not notice it, and how can you not respond to it? You can't. That's what we call a step one moment. While you are calibrating to this thing that you do not want, you are also calibrating anew in your vortex. And if you could just understand that, so that you don't make what's happening, if you don't want it, a bad thing, you let it be a clarifying thing, so that you just relax more in this never-ending journey, and you just decide that it's more a fun journey than it isn't. It's a more feeling good journey than it isn't. And then just do your best to reach for the best feeling thoughts that you can find along the way, and get out ahead of it. That's the newest part of the message. Get out ahead of it by segment intending and by meditating. A belief is something that almost feels like it thinks you, because it has momentum. So the best you can do is notice how this belief feels, and if it feels defeating, or if it feels unfair or unjust, then you've got to do something about changing the way you feel. And what's tripping most humans up is that you think, no, the injustice has to go away, and then I will not feel injustice. It doesn't work out very well, does it? The harder you push against the injustice, the more the injustice becomes. So what you finally have to decide is that you're going to step back and look at it from a broader point of view, where there is no injustice. They're just people utilizing the law of attraction in different ways, and you can utilize it in a way that makes you have what you consider to be a better life for you. There's no magic formula. You just got to do the work, and the work is pay attention to how I feel, and if I don't feel good, take my attention away from whatever it is that isn't feeling good. But don't just take my attention away from it, then give my attention to the other end of the stick, what I've calibrated it to be. I love you all so much. You meditate for 15 or 20 minutes, and then you respond to life all day long. You watch television and you respond to it, and you talk to each other and you respond to it. You're knee-jerk responding to almost everybody. You got to get out ahead of it. You got to stop responding, and you got to be better prepared before you walk into the room where you could respond. Stuff happens around you all the time, but you've got to decide whether you're going to let it calibrate you into discord. It just goes on and on and on. It only takes something to get you calibrated against yourself. So you've just got to decide. You've just got to decide how your life mostly goes, because Esther's life mostly goes very well. It is a really rare experience to have a meeting room that's not ready for a meeting. It's a really rare experience. There may be many more now. It doesn't have to go that way. In other words, this is a turning point. When you are in a situation that you don't like, it is a turning point, and it can turn whichever way you turn it. It doesn't have to turn you to more of what you don't want. It can turn you to greater clarity. It can tune you to greater tuning. It can make you more clear about what you want. It can cause you to make better decisions and follow up on your decisions more. There are all kinds of things that a situation that you don't like can activate with within you. You just have to know that you're in charge of your life. And sometimes in a situation like this, it doesn't feel like you're in charge because something that matters isn't working. So it doesn't feel like you're in charge, but you are in charge of the way you respond to it. You are in charge of that. You never get to the place that you're not doing the work. You never get to the place where you're not doing the work. We are all in this together in this environment. You could say that this is everyone's point of attraction. When you begin calibrating and you tap into the resources that are available to you, and you create a really big life, you can't fall back into patterns of action to deal with the big life you've created. You can't go back. You can't tap in to the bigness of who you are and attract the big experiences. You can't go back to an action-oriented world once you've tapped into infinite intelligence and the source energy that creates worlds. You can't go back. You have to keep trusting and believing and asking. You just have to know that you're in charge of your life.